Yo, it's your boy OG SouuLViewz. We in this thing with PG's, PG's Finesse in this
Already
thing.
know it, man.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
It's your boy Finesse, at Finesse on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Live with my boy OG SouuLViewz. We used to talk out now, baby, you know.
Hey, man. So shit, man. Drop the tape. We used to talk.
Yeah.
How you feel?
Man, I'm feeling euphoric. I'm hyped, man. This project is everything for me. Like, I say we probably been working on it. It was probably a 5-month process.
5 months.
You know.
Okay.
But I usually do a lot of stuff quicker than that. So so 5 months for me is a long time to work on one project.
Right.
But this one is just from what the feedback has been giving me, from what I think it's my best work to date.
Hey man,
you know?
Shit. That's how you supposed to feel every time you drop something.
You supposed
to feel like, you know what I'm saying, you getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the project just dropped.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch on that, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna like dive deeper into that in a little bit. But, you know, for people who don't know, you know what I'm saying? How long have you like been making music, you know what I'm saying? Cause I remember, you know what I'm saying, back, you know what I'm saying, my boy put the first song video out, it was the Popular jump.
Popular.
That, you know what I'm saying, that's a PG classic right there.
Popular.
You know what I'm saying? That's a PG classic, you know what I'm saying? So how long you been doing this music thing?
Man, honestly, I've been writing music since I was about 8 or 9.
Right.
You know, just composition books full of rhymes and full of songs and remixes to whatever was hot out back then, you know.
Right.
T.I., Lil Wayne, would take their songs and just twist it, you know.
Exactly.
But I started putting out music around 15 or 16. And, you know, high school stuff, just rough mixing, amateur. But those records really meant a lot to me, and I would say that was my introduction into music around 15 or 16, hot new hip hop, YouTube, this before SoundCloud, you know.
Right.
But I would honestly say I didn't start really believing I was an artist until maybe 20.
Facts,
you know.
Facts.
And then from there is history.
Facts.
But music is my life. I've been doing it forever.
Facts. So, you know what I'm saying, who was some of, like, you know what I'm saying, the people like you listen to most? Well, put it like this, because you got people who you grow up listening to,
right.
You know what I'm saying, that you fuck with and sort of like inspire you.
Yeah.
And then like as you get older and you understand music more, you know what I'm saying, you listen to like older artists or whatever, and then you start to hear things differently. Yeah. So like coming up, when you were starting to like really like record music and put it out, like who was the influences at that time? Yeah.
Well, coming up, my early influences at that time was definitely Lil Wayne.
Facts.
Honestly, Soulja Boy.
Facts.
He was so hot during that time.
We came up in that era,
man,
bro.
Listen,
like
that era was crazy. So I would say Lil Wayne, Soulja Boy, a little bit of Drake. This was the early times.
Yeah, early Drake.
ASAP Rocky, a little later on. Gucci.
Of course.
Jay-Z, of course. Nas, of course. And I would honestly say a lot of the stuff that was trending at the time. So, you know, we came up a lot of times with the dancing music, the snapping, the crank that.
Yeah,
and
that era.
Yeah, and I would say that probably is what inspired me to put my stuff on the web, seeing other youngsters do it.
Yeah, because that was like dead ass, like the beginning of like the whole internet.
It was the beginning of it. It was the beginning of it. So I was like seeing them guys doing it. I was like, yo, I could do this too.
Facts.
But I'm into all types of stuff, new and old, R&B, rock.
Right.
I'm into everything.
Facts.
But my favorite artist of all time is Michael Jackson.
Of course. And I mean, you can't look, bro. That Michael Jackson. That's a whole nother level. Right.
That's the GOAT, and that's honestly, I think he inspired me really create on the visual level and on the creativity, just to try to take it to the top.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Never limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you say you started like becoming like really felt like an artist when you was like 20.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? The more you grew as an artist and the older you got, like understanding music.
Yeah.
Like who then like really like became like the like solidified like influencers
for
after
me,
like you understood music more?
Well, honestly, you know, we from a small town, and the music I was doing as a youngster, it was, for me, I was really just putting it out for the area and for the high school, really.
Right.
You know, but when I went to college and went to the Norfolk area, ODU, I was seeing all the other artists out there, and they were really doing it. To me, I feel like they were really what I was aspiring to be, as far as the mixing quality, the visuals, and everything. And I would look at my stuff and be like, man, this is some kid stuff. I got to really step it up.
Right.
So a lot of the artists out there really influenced me. But during that time, this was kind of the early ages of the SoundCloud time. So I would say artists like Rob Banks really influenced me to get into it. Aston Matthews, I would say still ASAP, huge influence for me. And yeah, they really influenced me to really just get on this young nigga shit, really do it, you know.
Yeah, it's really time to take this music shit
seriously. Like, okay, you can either do it for fun or you can do it to inspire people and actually make a difference.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, like, even though you have, like, you know what I'm saying, those who make music professionally and shit, they your inspirations, but like seeing other people like your age like do this shit and like go somewhere with it, that shit for me, that shit like is more inspiring
definitely
than like somebody famous who doing this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
Like, I be feeling more inspired when I listen to, like, you know what I'm saying, like yo shit, or like other local niggas who drop their shit, bruh, and like, you know what I'm saying, this shit is like legit solid, you know what I'm saying, and like you see niggas growing as they drop.
Right. Watching people grow is just amazing.
Facts. And like it just don't do nothing but make you want to grow more and want to like take your shit more
and motivate you.
Exactly. So after that, started taking music serious, you know what I'm saying? You say you moved out to went to school, ODU, and that's when shit really started popping.
Yeah, that's when stuff really started popping. I really started linking up with my bro Jack TP.
And shout out my boy Jack, interview on the way.
Right. Shout out my bro Jack, man. That dude, he really changed my life. That's my brother right there. But we just started really cooking up, trying to become better songwriters, get better with the mixing, just make better quality music. And out there at the time, this was probably 4 years ago, it just seemed like maybe 3 days out of the week there was an open mic somewhere in the 7-5.
Right.
Whether it was Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and I always wanted to perform, but I could never get booked shows because I didn't have nothing that was getting people to book me. So I was like, bump it, let's just do all these open mics.
Facts.
So we would just go and practice our content around, and the word would kind of spread like, yo, these guys right here, they're all right. And then people in the ODU area started throwing shows and stuff, and they would like be like, hey, you know, y'all come rock out. And then from there it was history. And we kind of picked up like a little local buzz and started dropping music videos, and after that things really went up.
Right. So you mentioned my boy Jack. So like how did y'all link?
Yeah. Well, we got a mutual friend, my bro Steve. You know Steve, crazy ass.
Steve.
Well, he linked us up. He was like, yo, Doug, my boy got some beats. He hasn't dropped nothing yet, but he got a whole bunch of stuff in the vault. You should holler at him and check it out. And so I seen him at the basketball court one day, and he was like, Doug, let me play you these beats in the whip. No lie. Went to the whip. The first beat he played, I had something written in my notes. You know, I spit it. We had a hit right there. A few days later, we recorded it, and it was a song called Hello. A few days after that, we dropped the video, and then the reaction from that video, we was like, yo, we got to keep making more and more.
Facts.
And we kept doing it. And it's crazy because, you know, Jack went to PG too.
Exactly.
And he actually sent me my first beat when I was like 15 or 16. He had heard about me or whatever, and he sent me a beat. He was like, yo, I made this beat. You know, if you want to record a song to it, you can. But at the time, I was so struggling with places to record at that I never even got a chance to record it. And it's just so ironic that years later, we would make a bunch of records together. Yeah, it's crazy.
That you know what I'm saying, that combination, y'all boys mesh well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Thank
so
you.
like, what's it like? Like, how was the process for you, like, when you in the studio and like recording music? Like, how like what's your process?
Man, for me, I'm the type of dude, I like to make everybody's job easier. So for the most part, when I go to the studio, I already have the beat. I already got, if the song's not already written, I got a concept for the song. And then, you know, I go in, smoke a little weed, you know what I'm saying? Maybe drink an energy drink, and then I just hop in the booth and just go in. I don't even want to hear the song back after I do a layer. I lay down a layer and just like, yo, keep that, let me double it. Lay down another layer, keep that, yo, let me hit these ad-libs, boop. And maybe after 15 minutes, we'll come out, hear all the layers. I'm like, yo, mix it, dress it up, that's it, on to the next one.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like you don't listen to it until like it's all put together.
Right. I don't listen to it until it's all put together, because with my records, I use maybe
it's a lot of
layers. Yeah, it's a lot of layers on it. So I like if you just hear one layer, it's not gonna be.
It's not gonna be the same.
It's not gonna be the same as when you hear everything. So yeah, I just go put everything down, come back, listen to it all together, let them mix it, and move on to the next.
All right, word. Yeah, definitely. I definitely respect that. So like, writing wise, like when it comes to like making the song and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I know you say you've been writing, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, but like, how was it that transition where you like really had to like learn how to like make songs?
Okay, so for me, I would say I'm a student of the game. I'm like a sponge. I see something in hip hop and I just soak it in, you know. Yeah. So for me, when I first started out, it would be like Lil Wayne. He got the song "Go DJ." You know, my nickname is DK. So I would just take it and be like, "Go DJ." I'd be "Go DK." That's how I started off. And then, you know, we have songs like "In My White Tee," I would make "In My Black Tee." Right. And I would just practice. That's how it started out like that. But over time, I obviously found my own drip, my own sound or whatever. And in high school, I would just make songs about the situation. So if it was a party I went to, I would just write a song about that party. Or if it was a girl I was into, I would make a song about that girl and I would just put it out. And that's kind of how my approach has been ever since. Like all my records, they're about something that I actually did or some turnt night or some girl I was talking to. You know, everything I write about is kind of a true story.
From like a real life experience.
And I'll just flip the concept and just make it fun so everybody will enjoy, you know?
Okay, yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely the best, like, you know what I'm saying, write real life experiences and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like way easier too because it's like you did it. You've seen it, so it's like you know what you got to talk about.
Yeah, and it's genuine. And it's genuine.
Yeah, definitely genuine, you know what I'm saying? So now, what would you say was like the first project that you did where you felt like I'm really an artist?
Man, it would have to be this album that me and Jack put out together maybe 2 years ago called Only Option. And I actually got Only Option tatted on my arm. But the project for me, Only Option meant it was at a time I was in school, you know, I had a lot of stress going on and I was like, yo, I don't want to be regular. I don't want to work. Like, I don't want this rap thing to just be a hobby. I want this to be my life. Like, this is my only option, music, you know. You know, to get it, money, success, fame, is music. It's my only option. So we put out a whole project with that concept. And man, that might have took a year to make. And you know, for me, that's a long time. And when we put that out and dropped it, everything changed after that.
Facts.
Like, everything changed after that. And that was honestly my first proud project.
Word.
You know?
Word, that's what's up. Because that project was, that shit was tough.
Thank you.
That shit was tough. I heard that, Joe, and I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it just felt, felt different.
It felt different,
It felt different.
And obviously, like, listening back, it was still some errors and some flaws. It wasn't that cohesive. It was an album, but it was more of a mixtape because the project was a little bit of everywhere. So, but with me,
but it's like,
each song,
it's like we in a day and era where it's like, you know what I'm saying? People, you don't really know what's a mixtape or album anymore. Yeah. You feel me?
Right. And I try to learn, each project I drop, I try to learn from. Because after Only Option, I put out a project called Late for Class, which was an EP kind of about my whole college experience. And I felt like that joint didn't really get as much love as I wanted to. So I was like, yo, bump that. We can't go backwards. We got to keep going forward. So with this new project, We Used to Talk, I got to make sure it's the best thing I ever put out.
Right.
So with this newest project, man, we just locked in.
Right. So like, so how long would you say it took you to like really like gain your confidence?
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, I've always had confidence as far as, you know, I've never been scared to speak in front of people or show my face or do anything like that, perform or anything. But I remember when I first started making music, I used to love to drop it and see the love that I got from it. But honestly, I used to cringe at it.
Right.
You know, because I knew it was music, but it won't radio quality. And I knew I probably couldn't play it for some people because they'd be like, yo, this is trash. So it took years for me to actually get confidence in my music and to just play it in the rotation at a kickback or something like it's a mainstream artist. So I honestly probably started dropping music at 15, probably wasn't confident in it until 20.
Hey, shit, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Because honestly, like, it's like you confident in it, but at the same time, it's like you know how people are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like, you gotta like come in with the mindset knowing that like not everybody gonna like
yeah,
your shit.
Yeah, and that's kind of what something I've accepted. It's like, especially for example, when I was in the Norfolk area, it seemed like everything was either on some super conscious Kendrick Lamar type shit or some super trapped out Gucci Man shit.
Right.
You know, obviously I don't make either one, so I knew when I put out my stuff, people was gonna be like, what's this lovey-dovey, drugged out? What is this? This not the same. This not what we used to. But I was confident in it, so I just presented it with confidence. And since nobody out there was making it, there was an audience for it, and the people who was looking for that, they gravitated towards me. And that's just kind of been my thing. It's like, if you don't like it, cool, but maybe you'll appreciate the promotion and the artwork and everything else that goes into it.
Yeah, because it's just like, you know what I'm saying, if you don't like the music, you at least gotta like respect the grind and
right,
the hustle. You feel me?
Right, and that's kind of how I go about it.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, the confidence wise, as in like recording and like not overdoing it, because you know what I'm saying, it's like you never feel comfortable sometimes because you know you can do better.
Yeah.
But it's like you still have to like, you still got to put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And for me, you know, I always try to stay consistent with my releases, but I also try to stay honest with my actual artistry. So for some songs I just scrap because I know they're not good. But others, I just put it on a meter, like, okay, this one's gonna be a SoundCloud joint, or this one I'm gonna let a SoundCloud DJ drop it, or this one's gonna go on iTunes, this is the next single, this is the next hit, or yo, this definitely gonna be on the tape. So what I kind of do, I don't overthink it, I just try to judge it and just be honest with it.
Word.
You know?
Word. I appreciate that, because it's like, at the end of the day, you always gonna grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta live with, like, how it is in the space and time you put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
just
I realized,
continue to go from there.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't understand is, you know, this is the digital era. Back in the days of like DMX, Jay-Z and stuff, they put out an album, and for that year, that's the music they're gonna give you.
Exactly.
Because that's how it was then. Like, when you put out an album, it was like, yo, this is what we're gonna get for 1999. Like, this is it. But now it's like, yo, you drop a tape, and people next month are asking, yo, can we get some new music?
Exactly.
So for me, I just try to stay consistent, and even if this month's drop is I just know, okay, this one was cool. Like, my main supporters love it, but everybody else, they might not have fucked with it. So next month, I gotta just drop a hit everybody gonna rock with.
Right.
So that's kind of how I do it.
Okay. Yeah, I respect that, because like you said, it is a digital era.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, like the want and need for music is like mad high, because like the access to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody can drop something.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes for some artists, like a Playboy Cardi, the fans may actually somehow get a hold of your records and drop it for you. Exactly. And next thing you know, that joint got 2 million views on YouTube, and you're like, yo, that was never supposed to leave the studio.
Exactly.
So it's a crazy time.
It's tough, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's like you got to stay consistent, but it's like you still know you got to take time to make quality music.
Yeah, because you know, when you on this upcoming level, you know, if you do 2 or 3 hiccups, 2 or 3 fumbles in a row, man, you might have just canceled yourself. You might lose supporters, because like, man, he keep dropping some or some not good stuff. I can't even rock with him. So for me, if I know I hiccup, like, I gotta be honest with myself and be like, yo, I thought this was gonna do something that flop. I just know that next time I gotta come correct. Exactly. But the thing is, you know, with this artistry, you can't be too hard on yourself. You just gotta be honest and just keep trying to do better.
Facts.
Because I put out hundreds of records that you'll never find again because they've been deleted. Like, I felt good about it at the time, but just had to delete it.
Exactly. It is like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you said,
it served its purpose.
Yeah, it did what it had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You at a different level.
Right.
You got to move on from the jump.
Right.